big as me. It's about as big as my torso. Look at that.
Personal best flathead for Lena.
Yes. First one in ever. I never caught one before.
Pictures. First fish of the day. Let's get more.
Sweet. Awesome. I got 30-pound slime line on here. I got about a 2-ounce sinker. The sinker slide. Got my little demon dragon. Then I got my little circle hook, which is offset. Got this, and all this is from Hooker Settle.
Hooker's Terminal Tackle.
Hooker's Terminal Tackle. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. I never caught one like that before. Woo! Try to do it again. Now I'll use the tail. See if that.
All right, so we know they're biting on bluegill apparently, and we gauged about how far out she was thrown. She's on bottom, the demon dragon, so that's working for her. I haven't got any bites on the same thing yet, so what I'm gonna do is check my bait, make sure it ain't gone, and then we're gonna change it up and see if we can thin out what they're going after today. Congrats to her though.
Huh?
New personal best.
Yeah. Oh, I've never done it before. Never caught one.
First flathead, personal best flathead.
First flathead ever. I've caught channel cats.
You're gonna catch more.
That is awesome.
All right, this head's still good. I don't want it to go to waste just yet because it's only been out for a little while. So instead of changing baits, I'm just going to change where I threw it and how far I threw it out, put it in a different position and see if that helps.
I didn't throw mine very far either.
Nope. Don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of like threw it right there in the, where that little
Current seam.
Yeah.
Current seams are a great place for catfish to hold
Well,
up.
at least I wasn't imagining something because I'm old. You know, when you get old, people start, you know, they say you start seeing things. Especially my kids.
You're going senile. All right. I'm taking this bait off. Gut pocket sucked out. You don't want to throw this in the water and let it go to waste. I could cut this into a smaller size to downsize my bait. I'm going to save it for later in case I run out and use it as backup bait. And I'm going to take one of them shiners and curl it on my hook and we'll see what that does. And here's how that looks. I just hooked it through twice, kind of like a night crawler, nothing special. We'll let that sit out there. All right, now I got that line pretty close to our side of the bank. Everybody thinks you got to throw out in the middle of the river to catch big fish, but what do you do when you're in a boat? You cast to the bank. It's really nothing different. You don't have to be out in the middle of the river. You can actually just drop it right in front of your feet and you can catch catfish 2 feet off the bank easy because they're hiding in that cover that you're standing on. So we'll see if that works in my favor today. Now I gotta dry off from that flathead. I don't know if you guys got to see how Lena's rod went down on that flathead, but you can kind of tell what kind of fish you might, or turtle you might be getting into depending on the rod action. Most cases, not always. Flatheads will have a slow takedown typically. It'll bounce for a little bit, It's got a slow movement to it. They're usually just grabbing it because they don't care. They're honey badgers. They mouth it, they mouth that bait, and they just kind of mosey their way down, and that's where that slow rod action comes from. Most cases. Blues and channel cats are kind of the same. You got one of two options. The smaller ones with blues and cats will usually kind of hit it and it'll bounce a lot because they're not powerful enough to take it. When you get into something big like a 15+ pound channel cat or even a 10 pound+ blue cat, that rod just goes straight down. There's no blue cats here, but if we get a rod that just straight doubles over, it'll probably be a channel cat. But if you got something that's pecking, it'll be a small channel or a turtle. And the flatheads will have that slow action to it, even if it's bobbing. Hers was bouncing, but it was slow. It wasn't pat pat down. It was just kind of going like catfish is pretty much saying, come on, come on bait, why ain't you going with me? Something else that's very important to watch is your line. It's equally important to watch your line as it is to watch your rod tip. That's why I use the high vis slime line mono. It's really, really high vis. It's easy to see in low light conditions. It's easy to see in the middle of the day. You don't have to shine a flashlight or nothing on it. You can see it pretty much any time of day. Even in pitch black, the moonlight will hit it and you can see your line almost in any situation. The importance of watching your line. Oh, we got one.
There you go.
He's feisty. Feels like a channel cat. And it is. Pretty big size for a channel. Here we go.
And he's talking to you.
Saying, let me go.
A nice one.
All right. Here we go, guys. Nice little channel, probably about 3 pounds maybe. I don't know if you guys got to see that rod tip bouncing, but it was just peck, peck, peck. Pretty nice. Nice little channel. The way you can tell between a channel cat and a flathead is the anal fin. See how this one's rounded? It's got like a circular shape to it. That's a channel cat. Channel cats come in all different colors and sizes. Sometimes they could be gray, sometimes they can look blue like a blue cat, sometimes they're silver with speckles, yellow, brown. They got all different types of colors depending on the water they're in and their age and size. Oh!
Well, he went back in the water by himself.
And he's gone. He headbutted his boulder. I hope he's all right, but can't get him back now. Anyhow, they got lots of different colors, so you can always check that anal fin. If you really want to take the time and count the rays in the fin, that's another good indication. Blues have more rays in their fins than channel cats do, and blue cats have a square, rectangular shaped anal fin. And sometimes the dorsal fin looks more pointy and triangular. Channel cats will look more rounded too. There's a couple different ways. I know there's no blues in here, so that's definitely a channel cat. But if you guys seen how that rod went down, it pestered. So that was a channel. While I'm at it, I'm going to check this bait. See what it's doing. Not getting no bites on this rod, so I'm going to put it in a different spot too. Now that flathead rod caught the channel cat on. That's the one where I was saying you can fish right close to the bank. It was only about 10 feet off the bank and we got him. Something that people think when you're catfishing on rivers is you got to fish on the bottom because the current's moving. You can't keep a bobber still. You can't bobber fish. It's totally untrue. yes, current does play a factor and it lets the bait float, but a very popular way of fishing for catfish when you're on a boat is suspend drifting. And what you're doing is you're suspending a bait at whatever depth off the bottom by just reeling it up and keeping the bait off the bottom as your boat's drifting down the river or the lake or whatever. And you can imitate that with a bobber. So you have to reel it in every so many minutes and recast it, but it naturally imitates bait floating in the water current suspended. So if I have a bobber, say I have it set to a depth of 10 feet, what I would do is throw it out upstream and let the current carry it past some structure, or what I think might be structure, and it'll imitate that bait just floating down the current, and the fish will come up and grab it. That's what they do. They wait for an opportunistic time for bait to flow by, and when they see that thing fly by and they want to grab it, they come out and grab it, and then they swim back into their cover. And that's what you're imitating with the bobbers. So it's a great tactic to try if you ever get the time and want to try it. Figure out how deep your body of water might be, and then go ahead and put it out there and just let it float by. Make sure you don't have any of your bottom lines in the way if you're fishing bottom and top, and just let it float by. If you don't get nothing, reel it back in, throw it back out, and let it keep doing it. And when you do that, again, it's imitating that natural way bait and food will float down the water for them to grab. And I've caught tons of fish that way. I just didn't bring any with me this time. Well guys, we're gonna call it a day here. We caught a couple nice cats. She got a nice flathead, I got a nice channel cat. We haven't really caught anything else. Hopefully we'll get better luck next time we go out. If you like what you're watching, please follow along with us. Check out our Facebook page, check out our Instagram, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and look forward to more content coming out. Let us know what you think about these tips and tricks. If you got anything that we didn't say, go ahead and put it in the comments below. And thanks for watching. We hope you guys had a good time with us. Until then, see you in the next video. Take care.